hole-in-one.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is so good to look out and see such a beautiful crowd and everybody in their white and almost white. For some of you, you've been coming a long time, and for some of you, you're brand new. And either way, you're all welcome. But this is our 18th year. And we cannot believe that we've been doing this for 18 years. I can't believe we've been doing this for 18 years. But we started as just kind of an opportunity for George, who loves the game of golf, to get together with some friends and just play. It started out as a potluck, and everybody bought a dish, and we kind of was over at Seamist and hoped that it didn't rain on us, and we didn't have the tent then, so if it rained, we were outside in the rain. But it grew and grew and grew, but it grew thanks to this young man over here. My son thinks he's awesome. Senko took us from just a really tiny event to first a full day where we had sponsors and we had a wonderful speaker. And then it grew to night before with the meet and greet. And now it is 2.5 days. So we have the meet and greet on Friday nights. We have this on Saturday, which starts with the golf, and you're now part of the White Party. We're inviting all of you to come back to Seamist. The homework all started after this. It's on Great Neck Road, so afterwards, anybody who wants to eat a little more and play some cards or just shoot the breeze, we invite you to come back to Seamist. And it's open bar. And then...
Give it up. Give it up, open bar.
And then tomorrow we're going to be at the Zion Urban Heritage Museum in Hyannis, and that is also someone that we give a donation to. When we grew, we decided that we wanted to not only bless people with golf and fellowship, but to also be a blessing to the community. So a few years ago, we started giving scholarships, and we gave one to FAR, the Foundation for African Relief, and I see some of my FAR buddies are here. And then...
Stand up, stand up.
Yes. Gave to FAR. FAR right now is kind of dormant a little bit, so we've moved on, and we really want golf to continue with young people. So we are going to be giving this year to the Urban Golf Academy, and Keith McDermott is actually running that. In about 2 seconds, he's going to be able to say a few words about the Golf Academy and how that works. But I am also going to remind you to visit the silent auction. This is something we've only done for the last 2 years. There are some fabulous prizes there. There are trips. There is a basket, a gift basket there. There's some golf clubs there. There's, if some of you want to purchase a foursome for Franklin Park or for this wonderful facility, that's there also. There's a weekend at Seamist. There's an opportunity to see a Broadway show and go backstage. And for those of you that may have a few deep pockets, you can actually spend a day at the biggest golf tournament there is, the Masters, and actually spend some time behind the scenes. That one, there's a minimum bid that's a little pricey, but if that's something you've always wanted to do, here is your opportunity. There's also some beautiful, beautiful art there. One is by a local artist, and it's a gorgeous watercolor. There's some framed art that is from the auction house, and there's a picture from Kenya that was hand-painted, and it's an original. So I'm going to ask you to please visit that table, see if there's something that catches your eye, and bid on it. And the bids are if there's one bid there, then to bid the next time, it's up $5. So the silent auction works that you pick something you like, there's a minimum bid, that starts the bidding, and then each increment is $5. So, and then the one who bids the highest walks away with the prize. So, without further ado, I'm going to ask Keith McDermott to come up and say a few words about the Golf Academy.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. And how about if we give a hand to the Morrison family, who's also my family as well. I consider you guys family. Uncle George Morrison adopted me like 20 years ago, George, or 30 years ago. So I've been his uncle. So, thank you. So thank you. But, just want to, on behalf of the Morrison family, thank you guys for supporting this event. I've been supporting this for years, and last year, the family decided to give some money to the Urban Golf Academy, which is a nonprofit, organization that we started to teach the game of golf to kids in the school. Our idea was to introduce the game of golf to kids in school, introduce the game of golf. But last year, Tech Boston Academy approached us about providing some equipment and personnel to introduce golf in the classroom, in their gym class. So when they go to gym, every kid gets exposed to the game of golf. And is Denise here from the United Council of Negro Women? Is she here? No, but last year they partnered with us and supported Urban Golf Academy. So every young man or woman in middle school gets introduced to golf. Our hope is to really, take away the innocence or the fear of the game of golf to kids, because a lot of our kids don't really want to pick up the game of golf because it's so expensive. But if you get exposed to it in school before, when you become an adult or teenage, you're more apt to really, pick up the game and play the game of golf, which we all know, most of you sitting here, what this game features in terms of integrity and everything else. But before I go on, one of my support for the last 36 years, I've been married for 29. I know I don't look that old, but my wife is here for the first time this year, all these years. She came, Cheryl McDermott. Stand up, honey. Stand up. Right there. And former state rep, Marie St. Fleur, who is the vice chair of the House Ways and Means Committees here. She accompanied us, good friend. Thank you, Marie. And I think we all know who's here, but we know Frank Olivier, former Secretary of Elder Affairs under the Governor Wells administration. Frank, thank you. And I know we got a Cleveland Browns, good friend of mine, Robert Pina. If he played in the NFL today, he'd be paying the NFL, he would owe money the way he used to hit people. Robert Pina, stand up. So since I got the mic, I'm just going to thank folks for coming. And next year, bring someone with you. We want to double the numbers next year. So on behalf of the Morrison family, Sekou, thank you for sharing George and Janet with us. We love him, as you could tell. And thank you for supporting the Morrison Golf Classic. All right? Thanks.
Now, some of you have been waiting for the awards since the game started. So I'm going to bring Sekou Morrison up, and he's going to tell you about the awards, and he's going to acknowledge all of the wonderful people that helped us make this happen.
Hey.
So just a couple quick things. First of all, let's give it up for Mama Janet for holding it down as the MC. She stepped in one year because someone couldn't make it, and we were like, you should be doing this all the time. We're never letting you quit. So thanks for that. Also, I want to note that the silent auction includes these two cars behind me. Both of those cars are for sale. The bidding sheet is on the windshield, so come check them out. So we're going to do the awards really quickly. We got the memo. Some of you complained, said we should move this along so it could be more dance and singing time. We got the memo. We're going to make this quick. So let's do these awards. So I'm going to ask my Vanna White to come on over here. You know the Price is Right. Don't act like you don't know the Price is Right. Yeah, there you go, there you go, there you go, there you go. That's so good. All right, so first place, winning team. Coach Willie May, Ed Johnson, Sam Smith, Joe Rennan. Yeah. If your whole team is not present, you don't win anything. You got to go home. No, I'm just kidding. You want to say a few words?
Coach is better. Coach,
You've never seen him like you know what?
you got no idea.
No, first off, I want to thank Mr. Morrison for having us. And I wasn't able to make it last year, but EJ and Joe and Sam, we came to play, and we had a great time. We'll be back next year to defend. And like Keith said, we'll bring some more folks. So thank you, folks.
Second place, Ed Thompson, Leroy Walker, Iris Locke, and Ruben Richardson. All right. That's you? That's you? That's you? All right. All right. We're gonna get you some trophies. We got some trophies coming. It's funny because Leroy was just saying his back hurt. He didn't do so well. He came all the way from Florida. He didn't know if he's going to do all right. And here you are, walking away with awards. Who's the spokesperson? Who's going to say something? Yeah. Leroy, since you came all the way from Florida, if you don't mind saying a couple words.
Hello and goodbye. It's my first trip. Mr. Morrison adopted me down there. He saw me down there and he says, "You from Chicago? You don't act like those guys, so I think maybe you can hang with me." So here I am. All right.
All right, give it up. Give it up. All right, the third and final team. We got John Wilcox, Richard Selton, Jose Padilla, and George Garner. You'll take? Dad says he'll take them. Make sure Dad signs a list. Make sure they make it there. All right. So we've got those are the winners, and also we had some contests. Some of you participated out there on the golf course, longest drive, closest to the pin, and yeah, here we go. All right. So longest drive. This was on hole 18. Clara Arroyo. Yeah, Clara. Yeah, Clara. Get that thing. Get back. Yeah. All right, so while we're looking for her prize, Clara's gonna say a few words about the class. This is her second year. We already know. Say something. Say something, Clara. Put you on the spot.
So first, I'd like to thank the Academy, and so just say thank you to the Morrison family for hosting such a wonderful event. It was great last year, and it's even better this year. I'll see you all next year.
Okay, so we got 3 more prizes. Longest drive male is Charles George. Is he still here? All right. And we're gonna bring everybody up. And closest to the pin on hole 2 was Skip Gentile. Still here? Is Skip still here? No. All right. And we got. Hold on.
No, take your time.
We got one more. This. We got that one. Steve Harvey? You know what? You know what? You know what? Take that up with Clara as she looks at her prize over there in the corner. You take that up with her. No. Let's see. And closest to the pin on hole 17, Ray Sombrano. He left? All right. Okay. So, you're going to have to trust us. I see your prizes pulling up right now. You're going to have to trust us. We're going to come find you. All right. Yeah, you want to say something? Yeah, he's ready.
Yeah.
He's ready.
Thank everybody.
All right, so before I give the mic back to Mama Janet, I just want to thank everybody for coming out, and also we've got a number of sponsors. I had a list, so I'll come back up to thank all the sponsors specifically. But thanks for coming. This is a great turnout. It's great looking out at all the sea of white out there, white clothes. It looks amazing. So feel free to check out the silent auction. Make sure you check out the cars. And we're going to get back to the music soon. And yeah. And Mama Jan's going to come back up and say a few words.
Now, I'm not going to do a long introduction of Harriet Cole, but I'm going to invite you, once we finish dinner, to stay, because Harriet Cole and Perfect Example are treats you don't want to miss. Perfect Example was with us last year, and they did a fabulous job, and they're a lot of fun, and I'm going to encourage people to get up and dance. Harriet Cole is just a remarkable woman. She was with us for the last 3 years. She has been a fabulous friend, a mentor to our son, and a big supporter of the classics. So we will be introducing her formally right after the meal, and I'm going to encourage everybody to stick around. I'm going to ask Ruben Richardson to come up, to come up, and then we will partake of the food. He's going to do the blessing.
Thank you, Jen. Father God, we just want to thank you for being so good to us. You have brought us through. We ask for you to bless the ones that prepared the food, bless the ones that will consume the food. We ask this and all things in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Ms. Harriet Cole.
Hello. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed your food. Give it up for Mama Janet. She's got an announcement for you. Give it up.
Hello again, everyone. We have the distinct honor, and I have the real pleasure of introducing our keynote speaker, Harriet Cole. Harriet has been with us for the last 3 years. She is one of those women that comes along once in a lifetime. She has, I don't know how she does it, but somehow she manages to do it all. If I think about it, she's a TV personality. She's a frequent contributor to the Today Show. She is a prolific writer. She has 7 books, and some of which she has with her today. I have had the opportunity to actually own one of her books, and it's something that I look at all the time. So make sure that you see her after she actually does her talk. She now has a radio program, and it is fashioned after the initiative that she's been working on for the last couple of years, Dream Leapers. If you go on the radio website, it's WBAI.org, and the name of it is Dream Leapers. If you actually go online and you get a wonderful bio of Harriet, you'll also be able to be directed to her website and see some of the wonderful, wonderful interviews that she's done. Harriet, on top of doing all of those things, being a writer, an author, she's a wife and she's a mother. And she, most of all, is a great friend. I can think about when my son Sekou was much, much younger, before his hair was gray. And he actually used to work for Harriet, and Harriet has taken him under her wing for a number of years and has been a fabulous, fabulous mentor. So I'm going to let Harriet speak for herself. She did a nice piece for us last year, and for those of you that were here last year, you know that she inspired you to follow your dreams. And that's what she does with Dream Leapers. So I'm going to ask you to give a big round of applause for Harriet Cole.
Thank you, Mama Jack. Hello, everyone. I can't tell you how happy I am to be here. What a perfect day. Isn't it beautiful? Okay, so for all the golfers, was it perfect this morning? Yes, I can't hear you. Yes, yes. I grew up in Baltimore across the street from a golf course. Literally, it was across the street. Now, I never learned how to golf, but my father golfed a little bit. But to see the green and see how beautiful just the environment was inspiring. And to be here today, and now this, as Mama J said, this is my 3rd year coming to this event. I've known Sekou, I know how long, because my daughter is 14, and he worked with me when I was pregnant. So he ended up being my daughter's first boyfriend, which he's like, no, don't say it. But he helped me in those early years to take care of my girl, and you know, she's a beautiful young lady today, so I'm grateful. It is true that I created a platform 3 years ago called Dream Leapers, and I want to tell you about it. How many people were here last year? Okay, so a bunch of you. So I have questions for you too, because you did have an assignment that I gave you last year. I'll remind you. I have been working for many years in one way or another to help people to be inspired to take that leap, to do whatever it is that is on your heart that tells you, this is worth it for me. It sometimes means that you walk away from something that may be comfortable, but uncomfortable at the same time because you really are done. I spoke to a woman this morning who said, I was so done I quit my job. I said, you did? And you know, you could be concerned when one says, I quit my job, and what was the plan? But the reason that she quit her job was because there were too many things standing in the way of her comfort, of her health, of her spirit. Has anybody ever felt like that? Yeah. Probably most of us have at some point, but what do we do when we're uncomfortable? And I would challenge us to say, as beautiful as we look today, we're probably all uncomfortable in one way or another, in particular because things that are happening in our world don't make sense. So how do you make sense of your world when the things on the outside don't? I have learned that you have to listen to that voice inside. You need to be still enough so that you hear it. And you have to be prepared to act on what you hear. Whose phone is that? Come on now. I just need a few minutes. And so in my career, I've been working with people to help them get to that next level. Often it was one-on-one. And 3 years ago, I decided to create a platform that welcomed more people into the fold. So I often speak at events, I do workshops. I live in New York, primarily in New York. As Mama J mentioned, I now have a radio show where I talk to people about their journey, people who have accessed and activated their dreams, and they tell how they did it. So it's not about just hearing a great story and, oh, isn't that nice, but more, what can I learn from you and you and you in order to help me get to the next level? That's what my parents taught us that we are supposed to do, that we are supposed to help each other to move past the difficulties, to move toward the greatness that can make life worth living. And the challenge is when you feel stuck, right? And stuck can be a lot of different things. It could be you don't have enough money. It could be you're bored. And a lot of people who are retiring tell me, oh, well, now I don't know what I want to do. But then there's some people who say, I retired from this, and now the door is open to this. And so in those quiet moments, in those tender moments, what is the question that you ask yourself in order to unlock what's next? I think you have to be quiet enough to hear, and then courageous enough to act. One of the questions that I asked all of you who were here last year is, what is your dream? Some of you stood up and said what that dream is. You know, what is on your heart that maybe you didn't tell anybody, that you've been contemplating, maybe you've been writing about, maybe it's just been sitting back there and you haven't paid any attention to it. But I did ask, what is your dream and what are you going to do to get it to the next level? Does anybody remember that question? Did anybody work on the dream? Okay, I have someone who's, Come on, stand up. See what happens, and before you speak, but come up so we can hear you. What happens, the reason that I want it to be interactive is that when you hear others speak who are not just standing up here, it helps you to know that you're no different from me. We're no different from each other. It just may be, did you take the time and make the commitment to act? So if you tell us your name, what was that dream and what have you done?
My name is, as of June 23rd, Dr. Rhonda Adams. I have my PhD in clinical systems. I'm an IT person, so it correlates with software, IT software that has to do with medical systems. I also, when I was here last year, I said I was working on a patent.
Yes.
Patent will be submitted Monday.
Thank you and congratulations. See? Now, how many people in the room have PhDs? A couple, there you go. You know how hard it is to get that far. It takes a tremendous amount of commitment, dedication, and stick-to-itiveness. You have to go the distance, write the dissertation, defend it. So congratulations to you. And to get a patent is no small thing, so congratulations. Uh-oh, we got something else. Come on, come on. Oh, she's got something else. Come on.
Costs money for a patent. The patent attorney says, I'm not charging you anything. Because I believe in what you're going to do, and possibly maybe you'll allow me to be your lawyer if this works out. I met the guy who, now he's my business partner. He says, I don't want any money. I just want you to get this done because I believe in you. So he's going to write my up, help me do my business plan, et cetera, et cetera. He doesn't want anything from it. I called the National Nursing Association. I talked to someone. I was telling them about my patent. She says, not going anywhere. It doesn't make any sense. I didn't flinch. I knew I had something. I knew I had, when I said, okay, thank you very much, I kept moving forward, and here we are.
Thank you. Did you hear that? We heard it. Now, as we are clapping, the point here is, what does that mean for you? What do you have in your back pocket, underneath your bed, crumpled up in a pad that you wrote 10 years ago? What is it? What is that thing that lights within you when you give it a chance, but that perhaps you have not paid attention to? The reason that this is important, look around. If we were to ask every single person here, what was that dream that you followed when you were young, that you have followed along your path to today, you would hear amazing stories. We haven't fulfilled every dream, but we are blessed to be here. Look around, look at us. This is an incredible blessing. If you think about your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, maybe some of them were in rooms like this, but many were not. What can we do to ensure that the future of our children and our grandchildren and their children can be able to fulfill their dreams? It's us doing it. It's us making that choice. So someone gave me a poem probably about 5 years ago. A friend of mine, good friend, said, "Here, Harriet, this is for you." Have you ever been given something you're like, why? So here's what the poem said. Come to the edge. We can't, we're afraid. Come to the edge. We can't, we may fall. Come to the edge. And they came, and he pushed them, and they flew. Right? So I was given this poem, and I'm thinking, okay, this is really nice, but what does it mean for me? And I practice meditation. There was yoga earlier today. I practiced meditation, and I would sit with this poem. What does it mean? Not every day, but on occasion. And after a while, it occurred to me that already the work that I do, often one-on-one, is helping people to articulate who they are so that they can more readily pursue their dreams. I teach people how to tell their story, often one-on-one. And it occurred to me that at this stage in my life, it would be better to offer it more broadly. And so this is what I've been doing. I've been offering workshops, and as we said, the radio show, but ways that people can come together in groups, support each other, and learn. And I said, what should that be called? So if anybody has ever tried to get a domain name, you know, just about everything is gone. So I broke the poem into different pieces, and I thought, oh, The Edge. Well, you want to know how many things are called The Edge? You can't have it. And as I kept putting the words together, kind of as puzzle pieces, when Dream Leapers came to me, I knew. You know, it resonated. Does that ever happen for you? You can feel it inside. This is it. And so I looked, and there it was available. And then I put my stake in the ground. And to your point about a patent, immediately I applied for a trademark. So, you know, you do want to articulate your dreams, but also you want to protect them. When something resonates that much within you, what can you do to protect it? We actually teach that in my courses as well. I work with attorneys to help you know, when do you incorporate? How do you do that? How do you set up your financing so that it will help you to support that dream? But it starts with knowing what it is, tending to it. I was told years ago, spend 1 hour a day, every day, including the weekend and including vacation, tending to your dream. Did you hear that? 1 hour every day. Now think about what we do with an hour. We waste many of them, right? I mean, sometimes we sleep longer than we need to, but also sometimes we are worrying instead of planning. And I share with you, spend 1 hour every day. Do it for a week for starters. Starting from tomorrow, that's the beginning of the week, Sunday, 1 hour every day for a week on a dream that you have. Can we commit to doing that? If you do it, at the end of 7 days, I promise you something is going to come forth that will tell you, oh, now I should do this. And this, we don't know what it is. I cannot prescribe for you what it is, but what I can tell you is that if you devote an hour every day to what's on your heart's desire can manifest. Now, Diane's right here. And one of the items in the silent auction is your head wrap. What's it called? Texture turban. So I've known Diane for a long time. She came to a Dream Leapers workshop and she was like, I've got this thing that I'm working on, but I can't tell you what it is. But she was focused. Now this is a person I've known for many years who works in the beauty industry, but she had a product that she wanted to bring to market. Because she worked on it every day, she brought it to market. She actually has it here as an auction item. What happens when you work on the dream is that it can manifest. Okay, when it manifests, what's next? And that's not enough. You can make a product, make a service, you know, in my case, make a book. How do you promote it? How do you get it to the people that you need to get it to so that they understand what you're doing? It is a process. And I think that's in part why a lot of people don't pursue their dreams, because it feels hard. Well, what isn't hard? I haven't figured out one thing that isn't difficult. But if you embrace it and find the joy in it, then it becomes easier to pursue it. So I want to ask, who has a dream they want to tell us? You want to tell us what your dream is? Because next year, you're going to tell us how you're manifesting it. Who's got one? Come on, don't be shy. I can call on you, too. You want to tell me about the yoga? Okay. Come on. See, I do call on folk.
I'm here. Good afternoon, everyone. Hi. Hi. I'm Linda Wells, known as Linda the Wellness Warrior, and I provide yoga and wellness events to people that are experiencing dissatisfaction that's manifested in their bodies. And so, I don't know about you, but I have experienced working about 60 hours a week for a job that when I was leaving it, they didn't even care when I was leaving and out the door. So, I have decided to pursue a dream that allows other people to start to figure out what's going on with themselves, why they dissatisfied, why they unhappy. And usually it's because there's a few tweaks that need to happen. You got a couple of habits that you've held on to that need to be let go and need to be released. So things you started to do because it helped you get through the day, they're no longer necessary. So I help people pull those things out. And so we're having a wellness retreat that's happening in Belize in 2019, April 15th through the 21st. You can go to lindawellnesswarrior.com, and it's for all ages. These folks over here, my parents, they came to the retreat 2 years ago. They're not retreaters, but they decided to invest in me, and my mother tried yoga, and it was the first time she had walked up a mountain. She was scared of heights. She climbed a pyramid, looked out. She was scared of water. She went cave tubing. So there's a little bit of something for everyone. It's something to help you break out of what you're fearing and what those things that are holding you back from touching, you know, your dream, leaping.
Tell them one more time how to reach
LindaWellnessWarrior.com. My name is Linda Wells, also known as Linda Wellness Warrior, and you can find me on all social media through Linda Wellness Warrior.
Well done. Well done. Yes. Yes. Do you see why I want us to hear each other? Because it's not just me. Every one of us has a story. Most of us have something that we're doing that somebody in the room wants to know. So the challenge for the rest of today while we're together is everyone here needs to meet somebody. Meet somebody and find out what is your dream. Ask, what is your dream? And then just listen. And by the way, the story can't be longer than 3 minutes. Otherwise, you're going to lose folk. You know, they talk about the elevator pitch. I teach you how to perfect your elevator pitch. It's got to be short, 90 seconds to 3 minutes, or you've lost folk. But what she did was in about 90 seconds. We all know what she's doing. We are interested. And that's what we want to do with each other. So I'm here to inspire you to meet each other and figure out how can you help each other? How can we help each other to make those positive dreams manifest? Daddy Morrison, 18 years ago, envisioned this. Aren't we grateful to be here? Yes. It is a privilege to be here with all of you, but it took vision, it took a dream that said we can be here. And a couple years ago, we looked at films of blacks in golf, and we know we were not welcome on golf courses like this in the recent past. In the recent past. But look at our lives today. It was because of dreams. It was because of courage. It was because of action and skill. So that we aren't just showing up, but we're showing up and winning. We're showing up with the grace, the poise, and the ability to let anyone who is looking know that we deserve to be here. This is a gift of all the generations that got us to where we are today, and what I want us to do is dream as big as we can, to reach as far as we can, to take a responsible leap into our greatness, and we can support each other along the way, because being here is proof of a dream manifest. Absolute proof. Let us support the silent auction to help the kids who are learning to golf. Let us support each other. Please make sure you talk to someone you do not know today and listen. Listen so that you can figure out if there is something you can do with one another, introducing each other to somebody else so that we can help to make our dreams manifest. Let us enjoy the music the rest of today. I thank you, Daddy Morrison, Mama J, Sekou, thank you very much.
I'd like to welcome our perfect example. I don't know where Sekou went, but we'll be closing the silent auction in about 20 minutes. Is Willie Hicks still here?
Yes, I think so. Yes.
Where is he? Okay. I'm going to ask him to stand up for a minute. This is a guy that really, really supports lots of people, and he supported us quite a bit. He's adopted us as his family. He's the one that gave you the hat that's in the bag. He also has supported us with donations, and I'm going to say that he is one of our primary sponsors. Thank you so much, Willie. Wave to the people, and you can find him in Hicks Auto Body on Talbot Avenue in Dorchester. I also, there are so many people, and Sekou will thank each of you that made a donation or bought one of the whole sponsorships. But I also have to do a big shout out last night for Paul and Charles, who live here on the Cape, who opened up their home for us, their yard for us, and sponsored that whole event last night. And last but not least, I want to thank John Reed, who was actually opening up the museum for us tomorrow. So there are lots of other people. Dixon Golf is here, and they have been really very, very helpful. There's the sponsors for the auction. Judy Barnett actually donated a picture for us. For those of you that love Martha's Vineyard, there's still an opportunity. I know the Samuels don't want you to outbid them, but we do need to make sure that Keith gets a good donation. So keep the auction going. And I'm going to welcome our Perfect Example and ask them to take us for the next 20, 25 minutes till the auction time, and then Sekou will do a formal thank you. And we'll be here till about 5:30, so don't rush. Stay. The dance floor is open, and enjoy the music.